Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up? How you doing? Welcome to Get Over the Hump. Good morning, heroes. Good morning. Welcome to Get Over the Hump. Listen, let's ask the first three questions. You know how we do it. Did you bring somebody with you? Did you get us to three people? Where we tapping in from? Because remember, Get Over the Hump is a place where we bring leaders, entrepreneurs, influencers, professionals, the heroes together to create the fresh perspective needed to give us that oomph to get to the other side. So again, I say to you, good morning. Good morning, hero. Good morning, heroes. Good morning. All right. Yeah. We're here. We're here every Wednesday and Friday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern. Seta, what's up? I see you. Queens, New York is in the building. I see you. Yes, Mama, I see you. VA is in the building. I see you. Yep. What up, babe? I see you. Good morning. Now, we're going to move to the next three questions as we allow for people to get in here. You know, we got to check in. We got to figure out what kind of week have you been having? Yep. What kind of week have you been having? Have you been having the I'm a classic kind of week? Where you say, hey, I'm no longer explaining myself to people who insist on seeing me through their own lens. We're just talking about hero behavior, traits of a hero. I'm a classic. Maybe we're talking about my dopeness doesn't expire. Yeah, because I understand this, that I'm going to arrive on time, in time, to impact the people I'm supposed to, what? At the right time. And when we understand that piece, then we can actually just be present and realize that my dopeness doesn't expire. The story, the legend of true heroes never expires. Therefore, we can do what we've been gifted to do, what we've been called to do in the present. Then we go last, but definitely not least, is that there's a journey that you are fit for because it was something that was meant to kill you, but it gave you life. It was something that was meant to destroy you, but it developed you. So you can take a step back and say, you know something? I'm built for this. Yeah. That's what this is about. Is being able to say, what are the traits, the identification measures, the DNA of a true hero. And I see it, Mama. Yep, I'm built for this. Yep, I see it, Seta. I'm a classic. I see you, Shakar. Yep, my dopeness doesn't expire. Because here's what we understand, and here's what we can do, is that when we begin to control our perspective, how we begin to see the world in front of us, which is the only thing we can control. Now we begin to see opportunities instead of obstacles. We see possibilities instead of problems. And that is the mindset of someone that is determined to leave the world a better place in which they found it. That's the mindset of a hero. That's the mindset of those that we call VRAs. Yep, that's the mindset. So listen, I am excited as we are here for this Friday. What up? Good groovy morning, Shane. What up, Woods? Up early on the West Coast. Good to see you, boy. But look, let's get into it, all right? Because there is, what up, Janita? There is this kind of next phase or space I really want us to begin to start thinking about. And as we talk about this plus sum, as we talk about this area, this space in which miracles happen, transformation happens, destiny lives, we want to be again to keep working and thinking through what's there, what's needed, what's required. Yeah, we believe that what's there, our destiny. We believe that's what is there. Come on, you already know it. Good morning, Janita. You already know there's something different there in this plus sum. It is the promised land, the excitement, the space that we once thought was possible, then didn't think it was possible, and now we're getting excited again because maybe it is possible. Yeah, it's that space. But I believe that there has to be some clarity on how we proceed. There has to be some clarity on what we begin to, how we move. Because it's something that I think all of us have to understand. That there's a standard. Yeah, there's a standard. And when you can, Shane, you know you're funny. Girl, we working on some stuff. I got you. We working on some stuff. But there is a standard, right? And when we talk about the standard, what is a standard? A standard is a requirement to be able to fulfill said ... whatever conditions that need to be met in order for. You know, you look at the standard or the requirement when I was in school. Like one of the things that was happening when I was in school is we used to have these combination locks, you know, these master combination locks. And in order to get it unlocked, you had to put in the right combination of numbers, going left, going right, coming back, and boom, boom, boom. And then the lock opens. See that? Then the lock opens. But there was a requirement that unless you met these conditions, the lock wouldn't open. There was a standard. Now, they would give you instructions on what you need to do, but the standard was necessary for you to understand that if you wanted to secure, yep, you already know, if you wanted to secure your goods using this apparatus, you needed to make sure that you know how to boom, open it, and then knew what to do to close it, turn the nozzle, turn the dial again so it can stay locked so your stuff can stay secure. But there was a requirement. There was a standard in order for that to happen. For it to function at the proper capability, for it to function at the purpose in which it was designed, you had to fulfill the requirements for the lock to do what the lock was supposed to do. All right. Today, I want to get a little deeper into the standard, right? And why some of us may struggle going into this next phase of our lives, going into this next depth of our business, going into this more intimate space in our relationships, because we got to make sure that we understand that there's a standard. Let me say that again. We have to understand and make sure that we're clear that in this next phase that we're moving to, that there's a standard. There are requirements. There are conditions that need to be met. All right. So when we talk about the standard, the requirements, I think there's three benefits to the standard. So the first benefit to the standard is that it strips away. Yep. Some could say it purifies. Yep. But it strips away. What is it stripping away? See, the standard begins to strip away things that aren't necessary to go into this next level. Yep. It begins to pull back. It begins to expose. It begins to strip away. Right? Now, when we talk about a lot of the things that we hold on to, and we talked about it before, Wednesday, when we said we got to let it go, is that everything that we're holding on to that is not what is required of the standard, we know isn't a sin. It actually can be a weight. And so what happens at the standard, and let's go back to the combination lock. The standard of you got to turn it this way, turn it that way, turn it this way, and pull with the right numbers. The standard would show up that if you were moving too fast, that you wouldn't get the lock unlocked. What is it stripping away? It's stripping away your inconsistency. It's stripping away the fact that you might get frustrated. It's stripping away the fact of your impatience because you must do it correctly in order to achieve what needs to happen. It's stripping away Maybe if you're taking too long and you're moving, there's a lot of pressure. Maybe you're stripping away relationships because maybe this combination that you got to move, that this thing that you have to do is taking longer than what people are used to because they're used to you being in a different space. But watch, this space in which you're in is going to strip away the extra. It's going to strip away the other stuff that's not necessary. Because see, what happens is we're trying to take old stuff into a new space. And when you take old stuff into a new space, the old stuff might not meet what? The standard. Might not meet the requirement. Might not meet the conditions. Yeah. But see, here's what's funny, Woods, when you say that, cutting away the unnecessary fat. We don't know it's unnecessary until we know that there's a standard. I want you to think about this. I never got a chance to play youth football. My brother did, and a lot of my really good friends got a chance to play. But there was a standard, and Woods, you just sparked this thought. There was a standard that in order to play at a certain age level, in Pee Wee football, PAL football, Pop Warner, whatever you called it, you had to meet the requirements of the weight. And that if for some reason you would get on the scale, you did not meet the requirements, you could not play in the game. And oh boy, you talk about some sad faces. These kids been waiting all week to play, but they did not fulfill the requirement that granted them, watch this, access to participate in what they desired. So we got to be careful to understand what's the standard, because fulfilling the conditions of the standard allows for you then to have access, back to the combination lock, access into what you desire. And many of us are desiring this depth, this promised land, this transformation, this freedom, but it has a standard. And the first benefit about a standard is that it strips away. It has to be able to strip away so you can find out what was always unnecessary, what you actually have been carrying with you that you had gotten used to, that you become comfortable with, that's no longer important or fulfills the conditions for where you're going. So the first thing I want to make sure that we understand about the standard is that it strips away. If we got that, just put a one in the chat. If you say, okay, Aaron, I got you. I'm rolling with you. Yep, it strips away. The standard strips away. Yep, it begins to strip away so we can find out, yep, what's necessary. I like how you said that, Woods, the unnecessary fat. Now, as I see these ones coming in, the second benefit, again, because we're going to build these on top of each other. The second benefit of the standard is that it reveals the authentic. That it reveals, I need you to hear me, it reveals the authentic. Yep, as we're stripping away, as we're pulling the things off, as we're getting ready to see what was necessary and unnecessary, as we begin to start fulfilling the requirements because we desire access. As we're seeing all this stuff jump off, the next thing it's going to do is going to reveal the authentic. Now, y'all rocking this morning, so do me a favor, put a 2 in the chat if y'all if you're a home HGTV fan, you done got caught up watching the show, anything. If you understand and spend some time on HGTV, no matter where it is on your dial, where it is on your streaming services, put a 2 in the chat. I need to talk to my HGTV people real quick. Put a 2 in the chat. I want to see. Okay, come on, Woods. I see you, boy. Yep, I see you, mama. Here we go. Now, here's one of the things for those of us that have watched any HGTV show. Yeah, is watching HGTV. Most of the time, you got your house hunters and you got your these little shows over here, your lottery joints, where you're finding a house. Oh, but listen, the most popular thing on HGTV right now. I don't care if it's 2 black folks, 2 white folks, a couple, white woman, white man, all of this stuff. Listen to me. The most popular shows on HGTV are them renovation shows. Them reno shows. And one of the things that's going to happen in the reno show, there's going to be some demo. Oh, they're going to tear everything up. And somehow they're going to break the house down to the studs because we got to start over. We don't want none of this stuff. Only thing we want is the location, right? But the one thing that happens, they'll get into a house that we've all seen this. They'll get into a house where they're going, I think this house has good hardwood floors. Oh, listen to me. I think if we pull back this carpet, if we sand this down a little bit, I think we can bring back the original beauty of these hardwood floors. Yep. I see you need to up the foundation. And so when we talk about what is the next benefit of the standard, is that it reveals the good bones, Janita. Yep. It reveals those beautiful hardwood floors. Oh, it reveals the thing that was already there because you cut back the unnecessary fat. So because when you begin to raise the standard, the conditions that are necessary for people to be able to meet, the conditions that are necessary for you to be able to have access to the next level, to the next depth in which you want to go into your life, it strips away and it reveals. And some of us, because we were trying to get this account over here, this money over here, this car over here, these things, these degrees, everything else. At the end of the day, when we're going into the plus sum, this new space, this transformation space, this miracle space, this destiny space in our lives, when we actually get to where we're going and we're moving, we realize we ain't need none of that stuff. That the stuff that we needed from the very beginning, we already had. So back to HGTV. It's like there's a beautiful walls are up there, but they fooled around and put this ugly, listen to me, put this ugly wallpaper on it. Yeah. It's like this, it's like you've been navigating as an individual with these beautiful hardwood floors, but somebody put this god awful carpet on it. And so when we raise the standard, when there is a standard, the conditions, the requirements that are necessary for this next phase, as it begins to strip away, we then get a chance to see what's been revealed. And some of the times while we don't actually like the stripping process, is because we are afraid of what's going to be revealed. We are afraid to understand, who am I without this? Who am I without them? What am I to do if I don't do this? It's the reason why a lot of athletes hang on a lot longer than they're supposed to in their sport, because they don't know who they are without getting up every day with a routine. It's not even about being able to compete. They lack a level of identity. And what happens in this new space you're going into, you got to get a chance to be introduced to you. It's like when the kids are leaving the house. When people are becoming empty nesters, they like, so what am I supposed to do now? How are we supposed to connect if you're married? Because now when you start to strip away the standard, and the standard says in this space, here's where you go. Here's the benchmark. Here's where we're moving. Now all of a sudden, what's being revealed is who you really are. And some of us don't actually don't want to know who we really are, because that forces us to be reintroduced to myself. And the reintroduction feels like dating all over again. And many of us don't want to go back to the beginning of dating. We just rather try to keep putting some paint on a bad building. Keep just getting that ugly, nasty carpet cleaned. Try to find a way to paint over that wallpaper, as opposed to let's raise the standard, because I got a vision of something that's different than what's been there. strip the walls, strip the floors, and allow for us to build from there, because it reveals that I was good and I've been great without all the extra from the very beginning. When you got a good foundation, when we go back to HGTV, when you got a good foundation, that means you were already good before they added the extra stuff to it. Yeah. Okay. If this is landing, do me a favor, put some fire and some ladders in the chat. Let your boy know we doing all right. Because I know we're not about to be here too long. We got one more point. We're going to go and get out of here. But this is what I want us to understand, is that in the plus sum, in this plus sum space, we got to understand there's some standards, people. And we got to understand the benefit and the beauty of having standards, benchmarks, conditions. Because fulfilling the conditions grants you access. And I don't know about you, I want access to everything that's meant for me to have. So what condition do I need to fulfill? If that means I need to get up earlier, I'm getting up earlier. If that means I need to pray more, I'm praying more. If that means I need to walk more, I'm going to walk more. If that means I need to work out more, I need to work out more. If that means I need to drink water, I'm drinking water. What is the standard for the next level of which it is I'm trying to get to? What's the standard? And see, when we don't ask that question, the problem that many of us, why we don't ask that question, because we know it's going to require a different level of commitment, responsibility, and accountability for where we say we want to go. And one of the things about the standard stripping away, when there is a standard, here's what it does. When you remove the excuses, the truth comes out. When you remove all the excuses, the truth comes out. And some of us are afraid of what we're going to find when we get to the truth. And here's the thing. It might not be that you was a mess. It might be you've been good the whole time. But that person you've been hanging on to, they a mess. They've been the reason why you've been exhausted. They've been the reason why you feel like you've been moving at less than optimal capacity. When you remove the excuses, the truth comes out. That's what a standard does. Before we move on to the last one. All right. There's a story. I was actually talking to my brother the other day. And it's one of my favorite stories about standards and really understanding what's going on. Those who know college football, you don't have to know college football to get this. But there was a coach. He used to coach back in the 80s. Lou Holtz used to coach Notre Dame. During that run, Notre Dame, they were national champions multiple times. But there's a story that's told about Coach Holtz that he was in practice one day and the defense is going against the offense. So the offense is, has the quarterback, running back, all that stuff, and defense, linebackers, all that other stuff. But the defense is going against the offense. And in practice, the defense is killing the offense. They say every time they blow the whistle, defense is getting sacks, interceptions. It's deplorable. I mean, it's bad. And so there was one moment. Now, to understand football, there's 11 men on the field on both sides. And so during this moment where coach is very frustrated, he blows the whistle and he grabs one kid and throws him off the field. Like, go sit on the sideline. And what happens next, I thought was intriguing. I thought was actually brilliant. They looked and said, yo, coach, we don't have enough people on the field. He said, at least now you know what you're dealing with. Because he wasn't doing nothing anyway. Yeah. See, when you raise the standard and you begin to start losing people and losing things, it now removes away from the comfort of thinking that everybody around you is with you. And now you begin to understand, like, y'all wasn't messing with me in the first place. At least I know what I'm going against. At least I know what I'm going into war with. At least I know exactly what I got. If I got $2 in my pocket, then I know I got to figure out how to make it happen with these $2. As opposed to you telling me I got 2 and you got 2, we got 4, but you'll never plan on letting me use your 2. At least, see, the standard shows you, at least you know what you got. Maybe all you got is your integrity. Maybe all you got is your word. Maybe all you got is your commitment. And that's enough, because that's the basis to move you into your next level, the plus sign. I just want to make sure we don't miss when we talk about what's the benefit and the beauty of what? The standard. The first thing, it strips away. Yep. And when it strips away, it begins to reveal, expose the authentic. Yeah. Your heart. Here's what the standard does. I'm trying to get off this, but it just, okay. So you go to, I think it's 1 Samuel 16, when David was anointed to be king. Is that David was out as a shepherd boy doing his thing. And as he's out doing his thing, Samuel comes in town. They get ready to have a party to anoint the king. He goes to Jesse's house. And as he goes to David's pop's house, David got brothers. Got a whole bunch of them that's older than him, and they looked apart, and so they running them all past him. He's like, nope, that ain't it. Nope, that ain't it. Nope, that ain't it. Nope, that ain't it. Like he's waiting for God to say, nope, that ain't it. Nope, nope, nope. And so Samuel's actually getting ready to do something that he had no business doing, but God stops him because it comes back to the standard. Watch this now. Here's what he says. What he says is, none of these dudes are to be anointed to be king. He said, they look like they the standard. They look the part. He said, but you look at the exterior, I look at the heart. What happens is that the standard is going to expose the heart. And for some of y'all right now, y'all got amazing hearts that have been covered, that have been smothered, that have been disrespected, that have been calloused, all because we haven't allowed for the stripping to happen. But this stripping needs to happen for the true heart to be exposed. For the heart to be exposed, for us to be able to understand who's real and who's not. That's when the scriptures teach us that let the wheat and the chaff grow together. And you let them grow together because at harvest time, it'll be clear that when that point happens, you'll know what's wheat, what's necessary to feed people, what's necessary for commerce, and then what's chaff or weed that needs to be thrown in the fire that has no benefit. But at some point, there has to be, in the standard of what's required, the conditions for access, that has to be able to grow together, so then there's a separation. Because we got to see the heart. We got to be able to see what's exposed. And it only happens when we set the standard. All right. Last point. Last thing. Last but definitely not least. Benefit of the standard is that it brings clarity. Yeah, we've kind of already talked about it. That it brings clarity. Now, what happens? Why do we need clarity? Because clarity breeds confidence. You can say clarity builds confidence. But you got to be able to have clarity in order for you to be confident. And some of us don't have the clarity that we need because we're holding on to stuff that's unnecessary. The clarity that we need is only going to come when we allow for the standard to strip away and to reveal. Because see, as long as we got everything around us, as long as we got all the noise that's happening, we believe that there are things that are necessary that are not. We believe that there are things that we need that we don't. And the very thing that we need to make sure that we spend time on understanding is simply this. I just need clarity on where to start. I just need clarity that I belong. I need clarity that it's okay. I don't have to know every step to take. I don't have to know everything from the beginning to the end. But all I need is clarity to start, because I know if I get clarity to start, then I'm going to have confidence to continue. Don't miss that. See, the standard creates the opportunity for things to be stripped away, the authenticity to be revealed, and now for us to have the clarity to start, to build the confidence to continue. That's good. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but that just blessed me. And we too busy trying to figure out everything else in between, and we won't go to what's the exposure, my heart, my commitment, my character is what it is that I need. I have the clarity to start, to build the confidence to continue. And once I get the clarity to start, I know in the direction in which it is that I'm moving, into the plus sum, into the next depth, into the space of transformation, miracles, and destiny. As I take one step and begin to rewrite my story, and I take another step, and my story continues to keep changing, and I take another step, guess what? Now I have confidence to continue. But if I don't go through the stripping away process of understanding the conditions, I can no longer move forward. And many of us want to move forward without the standard. Many of us want to get the access to everything we need, but we're not taking our time with that combination lock, and we're missing a couple of numbers. There's conditions, there's requirements that need to be fulfilled to grant you access to the next space in which you're going. We can go back and talk about what we talk about quite a bit. It's Joshua leading the children of Israel. Yeah, there was a requirement for them to be able to walk, a standard for them to be able to walk into the promised land. What was the standard? Is that the old generation had to die off, and it took 40 years. Yep, it took 40 years for that generation to die off. And until that generation died off, they could not have access into promise, miracles, transformation, destiny. Couldn't do it because the standard wasn't fulfilled. The requirements, the conditions hadn't been met to grant access. Now, for my overthinkers, this ain't for you to go back and say, this ain't why this happened. Oh my God, I don't know this. And you start going back and forth and oh my God, you're going back and forth. And no. This is not meant for you to start playing a volleyball match in your head, a table tennis match in your head to go back and forth. What it is simply to say, what's the standard? And here's the thing, my overthinkers, I know you know the standard. You just might be a little afraid for it to start stripping away because it's getting ready to expose the beauty of who you are and maybe the ugliness of who they are. But I promise you this, when you let those two things happen, you're going to have the clarity to start, to build the confidence to continue. Jesus. The clarity to start, to build the confidence to continue. The very thing, the very surety that you want to know right now, you won't know until you start. Will this work out for me in the end? You'll never find that out until you start. What if I'm not enough? And I'm going to tell you, where the clarity that you have to start, you're more than enough. You just need to start to find out. Because the process it just reveals who it is you are. It just reveals who you are. So you got to start. Well, where you see is step number one. Number one might be the fact that you got to pay off all your debt. Might be that. Step number one might be the fact that you got to get off social media for a little bit. Could be that. If it's a fitness goal, step number one might be the fact that you just need to walk around 10 minutes every day. It's the clarity to start, to build the confidence to continue. Because how do you build your confidence to continue? You start getting wins. You start saying, oh, this wasn't as bad as I thought. Oh, I'm actually getting more stuff done that I thought was possible. Oh, man, I was making this a big deal in my head. Man, these people crazy. I'm going to say it like this. There was a moment, in the 9 to 5 that I got an opportunity to start leading people, which was bringing my life into alignment, congruence of what it is that I was doing outside of my profession to be able to do it. And being on the side of individual contributor within this organization, in my brain, I was thinking like, oh, all these people on the other side that's been leading in this position, oh, these folks are brilliant. They got this, they got that, and And I'm like, cool. Man, they let me in. Now, there still is a part of me that's going, I know I'm good for this. Let me say this. I know I'm good for this, but am I as good as them to be doing this? I knew I was good. Wasn't arrogant. I was just aware. But as I moved to the other side, I want to watch this. As I moved to the other side, the mental barrier, it broke even more because I realized just because they were on the other side didn't mean that they were better than me. And see, some of us are hesitant to get to the other side because we think that the people on the other side or the people that are already living in their plus some, the people that are already living in purpose, that they got some magic code or some magic elixir that's put them in a position that's better than us. No. They just knew where to start. And they've been continuing. And what I'm going to tell you is don't start psyching yourself out. Allow for the stripping away to expose the heart, to expose the beauty in the foundation, and allow for you to have the clarity to move forward. Because as you move forward, here's what I'm going to say to somebody, and I want you to hear me real clear. God is so faithful to you. God is so faithful to us that he's been waiting for you to believe. And there's somebody that you see that's in front of you right now, that you're thinking and you're holding them on a pedestal that they're this and they're that. I don't know who this is for, but I can tell you this. When you take that clarity to start, that will build your confidence to continue, you're gonna leapfrog that person that's in front of you. You're gonna zoom past that person that's in front of you. And I'm telling you, for some of y'all, it's people that you see on TV. It's people that you see that you have an admiration for in a way that's kind of been the standard of what excellence looks like. And I'm telling you, I can hear it. The Lord will redeem the time in your life. But he's asking for you to believe enough to take the step of clarity to start. So you can have the confidence to continue. And I'm going to watch you zoom past, leapfrog up in front of that person that you were admiring because you've always had the goods the whole time. And here's the scary thing I'm going to say to you. Here's the scary thing. That person that's in front of you that you've been admiring the whole time, you've been better than them. God gave you something that's just better than theirs. Don't make them bad. It's just they tapped into theirs sooner. You getting ready to tap into yours now. So when you leapfrog them, when you zoom past them, don't get nervous. Because when you have what you have and you begin to understand what it is, the requirement for you to get into the plus sum is for you to move faster than you ever thought you could. It's for you to take leaps, for you to take exponential jumps, for you to begin to blow past the people who were in front of you. Not that they're doing anything wrong. Just God gave you a different gift. And the gift that you have, the standard of it is you lead the charge. You set the pace. You're the example. And I know that's scary for some people right now, that you're actually the example. But I'm telling you this. Don't let the fact, back to David, I'm going to go and get out of here. Don't let the fact that they didn't invite you to the party that was actually in your honor. Because when they went and got David from out the field, David then was the one that was anointed in front of his brothers and his dad to be king. The party got started when he was anointed. The party got started when he was king. But I need you to understand, people. They then sent this man back out to the sheep. He went back to serving. but he's the king. Yep. But guess what? His heart, his service, his belief in God was the standard. And it was just now time for a moment for it to be exposed from the leapfrog of everybody else. Watch how he leapfrogged them. David goes to the battle to deliver a lunch, still in what he was doing for his brothers, accused of all types of evil, sees Goliath talking trash and said, why we got letting this dude keep talking this trash? Who's going to kill this uncircumcised Philistine? Goes through this whole process to finally say, hey, Saul, I appreciate you, bro, but I can't do it the way you do it. I'm going to do it my own way. I'm going to do what happened when I killed the lions, when I killed the bears, when I was taking care of the sheep. I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to go with me, God, and my slingshot, and let's go. And what does he do? He kills Goliath. Him killing Goliath now leapfrogged him again in front of all his brothers, leapfrogged him again in front of all of the army people and corporals, leapfrogged him in front of everybody that was in front of him. That was the standard, because now they got a chance to see what? Who the standard was. Let me say this to you. You are the standard. Yep. You are the standard. So you've been developing in the fields, developing in the dark, developing offline. That doesn't make your gift any less powerful, any less relevant, any less needed. It's just now the standard for what needs to happen in this day, this age, and in this phase of your life is stripping away the nonsense, exposing the authentic, and bringing clarity for you to start. And as you start and build your confidence to continue, you are going to leapfrog those in front of you because you are the standard. All right, put this in the chat for me, because I want y'all to be saying this all day, all weekend. I am the standard. I know that's going to feel real uncomfortable for some people, but I need you to put it in the chat. I am the standard. Yep. I'm the conditions that need to be met. I'm the requirements that grant access. I am the standard. Listen, people. Whoo! If that didn't get you excited. Yeah. Might be a little scary. Might feel a little uncomfortable. But I am the standard. This isn't an arrogance, people. This is awareness. So we can continue with the stripping process. We can continue with the revealing process. We can continue with the clarity and continue the confidence process. We can continue because what? I am the standard. Great things are supposed to happen. Yep, I was this place yesterday. I'm going to be this place tomorrow. They're supposed to happen exponentially. Because what? I am the standard. Whew. Jesus. Listen. Let's land this plane and get out of here, people. Because I said, I am the standard. The beauty of the standard is understanding that I am the standard. I don't need this extra. Let me strip that. We're going to strip that away. I don't need all this other nonsense. Nope. I am the standard. I was born as the standard. I was gifted as the standard. I was a standard from the very beginning. Life just tried to make me believe something different. I am the standard. So I'm going to walk with my head held high, with the heart of service to figure out what it is that I've been sent here to fix, what need I'm here to meet. And because of that, I'll be the standard. I'll be the one to grant access for people's freedom. I'll be the conduit to grant access to people's healing, delivery, transformation. Because what? I am the standard. Listen. Good people, I appreciate y'all. If this has been good, fire, ladders in the chat. We're going to get out of here. Y'all know I got 3 announcements. And I'm just trying to see who can keep rocking with us. Because what I believe is going to happen October the 4th and the 5th in the DMV area in Washington, D.C. the DMV area, at VROS, the gathering of the heroes, the people who are committed and dedicated to leaving this world a better place in which they found it. Those who will stand up and say, I am the standard. That's what we're looking. Hey, click the link in the bio. Get your tickets now. Get in the room. You don't want to miss it. Limited tickets for VIP and general admission. But that are people that are walking in and say, I am the standard. Because heroes set the pace. Yeah. Heroes dictate what's necessary. And heroes are the one that inspire, that leave the world a better place in which they found it. That's VROS. That's the event. That's the movement. Those are the heroes. So there's a gathering of the heroes, October the 4th and the 5th in the DMV, Washington, D.C. area. Listen, good people, I'm telling you, that's the place where people come and say, I am the standard. Let's meet. Let's get there. Second thing, June the 20th, free opportunity for you. Come trust me. Maybe you say, hey, I don't know enough about what you're doing, big fella. And you need to trust me. Come through. June the 20th, we're doing what we're calling the golden hour, 7 p.m. Eastern for 1 hour. We're going to talk a little bit deeper about how we begin to shape what we see. And I think it's the timing of this is divine and apropos. Because guess what? Because now that we believe and know that we are the standard, watch this. Now we got to work on our what? Self-image. So we're going to talk about that night, June the 20th. Go click the link in the bio, register. All I need is your email address so you can be in all the notifications and we can rock this thing out. Then we go, last but not least, we got the newsletter. The newsletter drops every Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern, straight to your inbox, meant to be a 2 to 4 minute read. Listen, let's take this with us. Let's not just leave this, right? Let's just not leave this and be inspired and don't actually have tools to be able to reflect on and to go back to, because I know some of y'all are driving in the middle of your day. And if you're subscribed to it, help me get some other people subscribed. We're at the beginning of June, and we're going to go after this goal of 300 subscribers. Currently, we're at like 192. So we got some work to do. It's not impossible, but we got some work to do. And I believe that with you all, we can get that 108 people locked and loaded on the newsletter to now take that group to 300. So if I got your commitment that we can start raising the standard of personal development, start raising the standard of self-reflection, start raising the standard of what it is that we need to do, I promise you this. You're going to be different. You're going to be able to walk into and say, I am the standard. Because when you walk into that space that I am the standard, then you get a chance to live in the plus something free, to move around, clear on what to be able to do, confident that you know that you belong because you've gone through a process, a stripping that reveals that you are the standard. You are the one that meets the needs. So I'm just asking, if there's anything that you want to be able to jump in and take it to the next level, we got 3 opportunities for you. 1, we got VROS. That is October the 4th and the 5th in the DMV area. You can click the link in the bio. Early bird tickets are on sale right now. You do not want to miss it. We are building out more and more beautiful experiences. We got stuff that's happening. The team is actively working. I'm telling you, we are trying to curate and customize an experience specifically for every individual that comes, because you are a hero. You inspire. You are the standard. Meet us there. June the 20th, the golden hour. Click the link in the bio. Enter your email address. Boom. Let's get at it. Let's continue to do this building as we talk about self-image and how that helps us become more of who we need to be, how we see ourselves, so then we can continue to walk into the places we were always destined to be. And then last but definitely not least, let's get this newsletter to 300 people. I need your help. We got 108 people. Listen to me. 108 people more that I know that we can do if we do it together. That we get 300 people strong, subscribe to the newsletter, and now walking around thinking and looking for places that they can serve, be the solution to, because they now know what? That they are the standard. So listen, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for rocking with your boy. It's been fun. It always is, every Wednesday and Friday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And so I want you to do me a favor. Be excited Be excited about what's next. Be excited about where you are. You are in this critical space in this moment of your life. You don't need anything else. It's perfect. It's like the golden hour. And what I want to make sure that you do is that you allow for the stripping that's been happening to continue. Because as it's stripping away, it's revealing the authentic. And it's getting ready, and it's giving you the clarity to start. So you can have the confidence to continue. Listen, I love each and every last one of y'all. I appreciate you for being here. The only thing I need you to do for me is extend yourself some grace. And I want you to know this. As you are going through this process, as you are getting reintroduced to yourself, here's what I want you to know. And remember this, that just because you started out on this journey to get better, it doesn't mean that you weren't already good. So until Wednesday at 7 a.m. Eastern, boom, I'll see you there.